Welcome to Plugged In. Today we have some new guests, the four guys from Atris. How you guys doing today?
Good.
Doing well, man.
Doing good.
How are you?
Pretty good. If you'll just go around this internet circle that we're in and introduce yourselves and tell everybody what you do in the band first.
My name is Jamel. I play bass. Originally came into the band off a Craigslist ad after coming back from Afghanistan. Found the guys. Just wanted to make some good music, and the lineup's changed, but I think we have the best lineup right now, so pretty stoked.
Most definitely. I'm Bruce Marston. I play drums. Originally with the other members of the past band, threw up that Craigslist ad, and yeah, just kind of been playing since as I can remember.
My name's Jason Weiche, and I sing for Atris. And I recently just joined them when Jamal hit me up, a couple months ago? 3 months ago? And he was like, hey, you want to get in on this? And I was like, yeah. Actually, this sounds kind of good. I'm down. That's pretty much it.
Nice. Oh, yeah. And I'm Pat Davis, and I play guitar in the band. I found these guys through Craigslist as well. I moved out here from St. Louis. God, it's delay. I moved out here from St. Louis to pursue my dreams in music and audio. I graduated college with a degree in audio production. I originally went to school for music composition, but finished with audio. Yeah, I hit these guys up on Craigslist. They shared a lot of the same musical interests, so I learned all their songs, came into the band, and I'm still here today. So, yeah.
Awesome.
Yep.
Awesome.
The best
How about
things
you
come
guys
from Craigslist.
explain us the name Atris to start off? Like, where did the name come from? How did you guys come up with it?
Okay. So pretty much before I got into the band, the name was already Atris. Do you guys remember the old Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic game?
Yeah.
Do you guys remember? Yeah. Okay, so there's this character named Atris, and she's like the Jedi historian, like archive master, and there's like one level where you actually have to fight her because she turns evil or something. That's like that's the
She's like all evil and stuff. She's all evil, and that's
yeah, that's pretty much
best inspiration.
yeah. And like the thing is, we've debated about changing the name, but we can't think of anything better than Atris, so it just kind of stuck.
It was better than my last band's name, so I wasn't complaining too much.
What was your last band's name?
Texas Boulevard. It was named after the drummer's street.
Right on.
So original. Sorry, guys, if you're listening.
I mean, you gotta come up with names wherever you can, you know.
Right?
Yep.
If he's the only one shooting out suggestions, then he's the one who gets to pick it.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And we all practiced at his house, too, so it was on Texas Boulevard. Just only made sense.
Oh man, yeah, that's better than my last band's name that I was in. It was Let's Be Frank, and it was like in high school.
What the?
And it was so lame. We were like a Green Day cover band.
There should never be a Green Day cover
I think
band.
that name works perfect.
Yeah.
For
Oh,
Green Day
thanks,
cover
Jason.
band, that's perfect.
So I guess starting off with you guys, like I know you guys have had some various lineup changes over the years, so and just like musical changes as well. So maybe walk us through like some of your history, like musically, how you guys have changed with a new lineup, and just like how your music has evolved since you started out.
You just want to go from the start?
Yeah. So pretty much.
Pretty much in right around when I got out of high school in 2012, when I was still in like college and stuff. I linked up with the original band's guitarist, Ted. He was fresh out of the Navy, and we just kind of met through mutual friends. And as the years went by, we picked up Jamel. And I mean, pretty much once we found Jamel, I was like, dude, this is the guy that like I want to jam with. Like you'll go in and out of bands, but like that dude's good at bass, and we mesh pretty well. So it's pretty much been that. And I mean, Jamel knows the rest of the story from there too.
Yeah, I mean, I think with every band, you kind of struggle with finding people that are, committed to, pursuing music. I mean, music as a career other than a hobby. Like there's a lot of good bands that, just play music on the weekends and enjoy it, and that's completely fine. I think at least for me, I think for everybody, like we kind of like want to pursue music as a career, and it's just been a real struggle finding the right people that you mesh with while you're playing. It doesn't matter, like whether it's practicing or, playing shows, just finding that right mix of people that, you can literally break them down constructively, and they don't take it personal. They take it as, a lesson, like, hey, I need to get, on the same level with everybody else. And I think that's what's been our biggest struggle, is just kind of being able to critique people and not having it get to a personal level. And that's kind of like we've probably had, I don't know, maybe 15 different people like in the band, like whether it's singers or guitarists or, and it's just, I think that's like my biggest struggle, is just, I want people I can make music with that, I don't have to really, worry about getting their stuff done. Like it just gets done, and like we can, move forward.
Yeah, so
sorry, I lost you guys.
To continue on like the timeline of it, we pretty much we picked on like a pretty solid group of members right around, what was it, like 2015, 2016?
Like 2014, 2015.
We had a good stint in 2013 with like the old Atris, as we like to call it, and then the original guitarist came out of the Navy, just couldn't afford to live out here in California. And I mean, for anyone that lives in California, they know that kind of struggle there. But yeah, they just, life happened to them, and they just couldn't keep on going on. So eventually we ran into what was it, like the I don't know what you want to call the ragtag group, where we had 2 singers at the time.
Oh yeah. I mean, so we had pretty much all of Sea of Trees in the band at one time. They're like a local San Diego band. Good people. We just didn't really work out like we wanted it to, and it is what it is. Like I think just musical differences and stuff like that, but I mean, it is what it is. We actually played a show with them last year. I think it was like Cianvar. Played a show with them. So I mean, like, there's not really like hostile. I don't know if that's the right
no
word,
Twitter beef or anything.
Yeah, like
that.
no Twitter beef.
Nothing juicy like that.
But there was for a while, and that was kind of like attributed to our old singer, which I mean, he, like, he's a good guy. He just kind of lets his mouth, run before actually like thinking about talking. He like called out Will Swan, and just stupid stuff like that. And we just ended up, not being able to work with him, and yeah, and like how we came across Jason was my girlfriend and I were listening to Living Creatures, and like she kind of knew the whole dilemma that we were having with our singer at the time, and she's like, why don't you just hit up Jason? And I'm just like, get the fuck out of here, like I'm like there's no way. She's like, no, like you might as well just ask. I'm like, all right. And like I just kind of hit him up. I'm like, hey, I know you get this all the time, but
just being a little fangirl.
Yeah, like, hey, but no, I mean it's been great. Like and it's funny too, because he's like over 100 miles away, and like we get more done with him than a singer that lives less than 80 miles away. So I don't know, it's funny.
I know you guys have also had some obviously musical changes with the lineup changes as well. So like, how is your sound that you're working with now sort of compared to your old material?
Well, I guess I kind of stepped in and on the songwriting role, and I basically gave him one song to see if they liked it, see if they liked my ideas. They received it pretty well, and so I basically started writing more songs, and then I finished. Sorry, there's a bit of delay in my headphones. It's weird. But yeah, I ended up writing 10 songs, the full album. We've changed them quite a bit now, but just to at least get us going. But now we're about the process where we're kind of changing things around, just making things fit a little more, so it's not just all from a guitarist perspective or everything, all the ideas coming from the guitar's point of view, Sometimes, try to let the drums lay down a groove, then we kind of just lay back and vibe off that. I think a little more will probably change depending on what we get from Jason. Hear his ideas in it all. So it's still kind of a little bit up in the air, but I would say it's gone in a lot more like progressive, mathy, like more technical, I guess, and just weird overall.
Yeah, I think there's not one song on the songs that we've written for this new album that's in just straight 4/4 the whole song.
Yeah.
It's like a lot of like 7, like 10
mixed meter.
Like just
one part we got like 1 bar 5, then 7, back to 5, back to 7, back to 5, back to 9.
Yeah.
And then repeat.
I think there's actually one song where like you couldn't figure out the time signature, so it's just like 5 + 2 over something like.
No, I knew exactly what I was doing.
Oh yeah, I know. But
instead of writing 1 bar 5 and 1 bar 7, I just wrote 12 plus.
Yeah.
That's 12, right? Yeah. Just 5 + 7 over 8. Instead of just having to go in my program and change it every bar.
Yeah, no, I think I definitely think that it's going to be a huge change, because I mean,
all of our old songs are in 4/4.
Yeah, it's
just that right there.
Yeah, it's all in 4/4, and like honestly, then like we really didn't. It's just like when you get together with your friends and you're just kind of like jamming, you're like, oh yeah, this sounds good. Let's see what we can add on to it. Oh yeah, that sounds good, but I feel like all the songs that we have now are more structured, I
feel like we're being a lot more like particular with the ideas and music we create now and what we what we're deciding to put on the record. We've already basically cut 2 songs. Yeah. We might change another one. I don't know, maybe more. Might just rewrite the whole album.
Yeah. but yeah. I mean, it's just it's a lot of collaboration. I think
it's a lot different.
Yeah, I think like with Jason, like he has a lot of feedback for the songs, and like we kind of want to, make it, more open for him, because he has a unique voice, and we want to be able to, capture that, as well as everything intricate with the instruments.
I just wanted to ask, everybody mentioned, like, Jason, you probably get asked, to join bands all the time. So what made you decide Atris is the one that, I want to be a part of?
Well, I haven't gotten like an overload amount of like, of just like requests to be in bands, but I mean, some that I do, like, I tend to like some of it, and then some of the stuff they show me, I'm just like, yeah, I'm not really feeling it. And when you're going in to do vocals, I mean, you got to really feel the music. So, and Jamel sent me the songs. What song was it? I think it was like one or two songs, and I listened to them.
We just have them numbered.
Yeah, and I thought they were groovy. I thought it's definitely something I could feel. They're rough, but it's like it was something I could feel. And through this whole break, I think it's been like 2 years. Like I've been kind of wanting to get back into writing music again. So
nice.
So
yeah, they're definitely rough demos right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anything we put out on Facebook or whatever, we apologize. It'll be much better.
Yeah,
So
we actually we're actually talking to what's his face?
Do we want to drop names yet?
Well, I mean,
maybe.
Yeah. No, like we for this album, like we were actually talking to Chris Crummett
about getting it mix and master.
Yeah,
at least.
mixing and mastering, because I don't know, we just want like the best for this album, and like to put out the very best, and I don't know, just have everybody enjoy it as much as we enjoy playing it.
We just want it to be received the way we intended it to. We don't want to take any shortcuts and due to money or whatever, that's a short-term thing. I'm kind of thinking about the long term. And
because I mean, like, let's be honest, we're all pretty like broke, so like but I mean, hey, like we want to, like, we've been saving, like for all the recordings and stuff like that. So
you guys mentioned that even though Jason is like far away from the rest of the band, you guys actually are able to like collaborate more effectively than with your old lineup. So like, how does that process work with Jason and like the rest of you guys having to like mostly do stuff like online? And,
I mean, it usually goes like
long distance.
We've got the demos
how does that
recorded,
process usually go?
just at home recordings, and we can send them over to each other through email, or if it's too big, you can do Google Drive or WeTransfer. There's multiple options, Dropbox. But that way, I mean, he's got his own DAW and Logic Pro. He can just drop the songs into Logic Pro, record his ideas, send them back over too. So, and he's a good musician, so we can give him PDFs of the music, and he can just look at the music and kind of just know what we're thinking,
Yeah, and it's I mean,
I feel like this day and age, it's totally possible to do long distance things. You see like those YouTube collaborations. And they have people from all over the world doing things together. So
it kind of works out a little bit better too, because you could take this idea that someone's working with and like take it back into your own little cave, and write out different parts and like spend time on it instead of just being obligated to come up with something there on the spot. Which, I mean, that way also works really well, but I guess just different methods. I like this method though. It's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, we're all like, pretty laid back dudes too. I mean, we're not. I think the reason why it wasn't working with our former singer is just, like,
I don't think he had a good means to record himself.
Yeah, he didn't have a good means to record himself, which, I mean, that's fair. But I mean, at the same time, we live close together, and it's just like me, Pat and I, we have like our own little like recording setup, and I mean, so it's just, I don't know, it just kind of goes to like initiative, like if you really want something, you're gonna like find a way to get it done, and it didn't work out, and that's fine, but it's working out a lot better, and like Jason's over 400 miles away, so like
I like
so
how we're just increasing the numbering increment. It's like, okay, we're at 100 miles, now we're at 400 miles.
I said
By the end of this podcast,
His
it's gonna
vacation
be like he
home
lives
is in
across
Maine,
the country.
just- I mean, yeah, just like different artists collaborating and just like technology coming and reshaping a lot of the things that we know in this world right now. Like, you know, it's definitely possible to just like, you know, oh yeah, like Jason's 100 miles away or 400 miles away, whatever number you want to call it, but you know, just on the track, you know, the track's right in his face, and he can work on it. You know, I think there's like, you know, different articles on SoundCloud rappers. They just like bounce stuff to each other like back and forth all the time. It's just like, I mean, even like one of the newer cases is like, dude just like works off of his iPhone with like GarageBand and like just sends it over to SoundCloud and people love it for some reason. I'm not gonna drop names. I can't even really remember what the guy's name. I'm sure he does well for himself.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, no, I think technology is like advanced. I just watched this. I forget what it's called, but they're showing like behind the scenes to this one movie where the dude was like Australian, and like he needed to do voiceover work because they didn't pick up a few words. So they literally like live streamed, like, I don't know, via this weird thing where he's in a studio and like he's just recording, and whoever's, you know, engineering him is engineering him from the United States.
No, it's totally possible.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, it was, yeah, I was just like, dude,
That's
is
insane.
That's awesome. Like
Yeah.
he just, all he had was a microphone, and like the soundboard and everything else was in the U.S.
Yeah, man. Welcome to the future.
Yeah.
The future is here.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, if you guys wanted to do with, if you guys end up
Right,
doing
yeah.
it from it, you might not even have
We
to
were,
go.
we
up
were
to
thinking about
Portland,
not
you know?
recording with him.
Yeah.
Just because of
Yeah.
that
It's a
stuff,
lot more
like, you know,
expensive.
you
Well,
can
yeah,
save
I
all
think,
that travel cost.
I think like on our end, like we probably will just do like all the recordings for like guitar and bass and drums, and you know, and then probably just like put it on 2 different hard drives and, you know, send it up to Chris or something. Because like we've already like kind of talked to him about like, you know, the situation. I mean, he's a cool dude. Like he's really laid back, and
Just mail him a hard drive.
yeah. So yeah, we probably won't even have to go up there. I mean, I would probably want to go up there just to like see his setup, you know. But
All right. Well, you can go drive it up to him and hand it to him personally.
yeah.
Well, if you're into that stuff, I'm sure the drive will be worth it because he's got.
Yeah,
some
no,
good
I follow him
stuff.
on Instagram.
He's
He's
got
always
some good
posting
gear.
like, oh yeah, just got like all these new pedals, and like they're all $1,000 each. You know, it's like, fuck, dude. Like,
Well, I mean, when you do it for
oh,
you do
yeah.
it for a living,
yeah,
you know,
and he
you gotta,
gets
you
he
gotta
gets
be
paid.
willing to
He,
put in that
he
money.
gets paid
Yeah.
good. You know, I'm just jealous because I just bought like my first bass pedal, and it was like $400. I'm just like, man, this motherfucker's getting like a new pedal a day. You know, it's like,
So, as far as like the collaborative process with you guys and Jason, did you find it was pretty like? I have like echo in my headphones. But anyway, did you guys find that like pretty much right away the collaborative process clicked, or was there some did it take a while to acclimate to the new singer, or was he like just right away just you guys figured out the new sound and it just went from there?
I feel like it was pretty easy. You know, like I messaged him on Facebook, and then he got back to me like right away, and then like I didn't even tell the rest of the band that I messaged him. Like I'm just like, dude, I'm just gonna fucking do it. Like if they hate me, like, well, I guess they hate me, but yeah, I didn't even like tell the rest of the band. I'm just like, man, like, you know, if he says no, then I won't even like mention it. But if he says yes, I have something to tell him, you know. So, you know, I hit him up and then told the rest of the guys. They're like, what the fuck? I'm like, they're like, hell yeah, man. And you know, getting all stoked about it. And then we just kind of set up a hangout session, and kind of just, you know, talked about it, and everything was cool. Like we didn't have to really say anything. Like everything was like, I don't know, just like said, if that makes sense. Like everything was just like received well. Yeah, definitely mutual. I think.
Yeah, I think that was a mutual thing.
Like, how do you feel? How do you feel it went, Pat?
Yeah, it went cool, man. Everything was all gravy from the start. Just everything seemed to gel well. I actually met Jason back in like 2014. I don't think you remember me. I just came out to one of his shows. He was playing with Idola. He was with Stolas, and Idola was opening for him, and Artifacts Preo was there as well. I just met him. He was a cool guy. I knew he was cool, but a couple of years later, I joined these guys, and they had met him as well.
Yeah.
So I just feel like the dynamic was there, musical interest and just personality as well.
Yep.
So was that the question?
Yeah. Yeah, that was the question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I think it's cool when like you can sort of have someone come into a band and like or a project and they just sort of immediately click. Like you don't have to like spend all this time like figuring out like what the sound is going to be like. Like you guys just sort of have that connection even though you hadn't worked together before.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, have you listened to Stolas? I mean, he's got an amazing voice, and we've worked very, very hard. We've worked very hard with like in all of our crafts, and
you guys are too kind.
One of my old mentors, what was Sam
Bokus?
Sam Bokus. He recorded the Blink-182 self-titled back in the day, and he's opened up shop with his own like little studio in San Diego, and at the time when I first like reached out to him to record one of my high school bands, like he was just like recording for the fun of it and recording just to like get by and everything. But he was just he told me straight off the bat, great players with great instrument, great talent, you'll just get a great product. So I mean that pretty much boils it down to why Chris Crummett even buys $1,000 pedals to just play around, fuck around with creatively. Excuse my French.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
No,
I didn't get a cuss yet, so I had to.
yeah. No, it's all good. It's all good. I was gonna say something, but I forgot. So.
Cool.
Yeah. Thanks, man.
Nice, man.
Yeah.
Good answer.
Yeah. But yeah.
I just wanted to ask, like, so have you guys like moved on to? I know that you said that the new songs are kind of rough, but have you guys moved on to writing like vocal parts or anything so far? And if so, like, how is your creative process, Jason, like different from Stolas coming into Atris?
I think, well, right off the bat, I have ideas, but I don't have anything fully recorded out, so they're just basic ideas. But I think this time the process is different because of the obligation to produce. I think with Stolas, it's like you have this label and you have this like expectation from everybody, and it's like hanging over your head. So it's like you have that hanging over your head, and then you're trying to create music, and I feel like sometimes that can take the creativity out of it. Not so much like the creativity, but the original feeling, like the original reason why you even started making music, and it just starts to become mundane and like a job. And with Atris, it's like everybody's busy, and so we don't have like this super strict, we have to get this done in several months, and there's not like this huge budget, so it's like this nice time to like just be strictly creative and take as much time or as little time as needed.
Alex, did you have another question?
I'm thinking like so one thing I like to ask you guys is like, what sort of influences do you think you guys each bring to the table in terms of your guys' sound? Like how your different influences mesh together? Like you guys can just go around and each say like who you think some of your biggest influences are musically.
I would say my biggest influences. My all-time favorite band is the Mars Volta. I know they haven't put anything out recently, but if they were to, I'm like running naked through the streets. It's a good day. Hell yeah, man. But recently,
I'll probably be there
some of
with
my
you.
biggest influences have been this one band called Sixth. It's called spelled Sikth. You should all go check them out immediately. Killer band. They broke up for a while, and then they came back after like 8 years or something like that. And yeah, I'm happy. Then also like the Dillinger Escape Plan. There's a lot of post-hardcore bands. Hail of Sun just put out a sweet EP. I've been digging that. What was it? There's a band Closure in Moscow. They're sick, man. If you haven't heard of them, you should check them out also. I love a lot of different music, though. I've been getting a lot of influence from, even ethnic music, like Indian or just worldly music. Try to throw that in there. Bit of a harder metal spin,
Yeah. That.
Yeah, I just bought a book. It should be here today. It's called The Ragas of North India. I've got the South Indian version, but it's like 3,000 some scales. That was for one book.
Yeah, that's freaking.
There's only like 3 more of this other book and copy.
That's insane. Literally, like last week, I've been trying to learn some ethnic scales. So that's so weird.
Yeah,
Dude, I'll send you some stuff, man.
yeah, yeah.
Look no further.
Oh man, that's freaking awesome.
Yeah, just everything. Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
For me, I'd have to say that Fall of Troy has pretty much been like my favorite band ever since like middle school for me. Just back when they first came out. Aside from them, so back onto it. For me, just the Fall of Troy. For more contemporary artists, like Sean's have had like the sickest run I've ever seen, and me being from San Diego and most of them being from San Diego too, like that's always been like I don't know, I look up to those guys. But yeah, no, just all around like just usual progressive post-hardcore stuff. I don't know. I don't like I if they're sick and they're new, then I'll check them out, and I'll usually dig them. Jason actually he introduced me to probably my new like on repeat band Sufferer.
Oh, nice.
With
Nice.
Corey Lockett, like
Freaking dope.
yeah, like dude, I cannot stop listening to their newest release. Like it's just so good. If you've listened to Sufferer
Yeah,
before,
it's so good.
and,
So good.
and hit me up online. It is to die for. That caviar of music.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good project. It's a good project.
I'm
I
really
guess for
proud to
me,
be a
like,
backer of that project. So
especially in this genre of music, I love Protest the Hero, and just heard that they're coming out with the album.
Wait, what?
Yeah, Protest the Hero. Yeah. No, they're just coming out with a new album here in the next couple months. And who else? Love Periphery. Love man. I love the Weather Report. Like, if you guys ever heard of the Weather Report, it's the badass dude on bass called Jaco Pastorius. He has some just insane bass lines. Also like Stolas.
You want to see my Stolas tat?
Yeah, I got a no, I don't got a Stolas tat. Like Stolas. I don't know. I mean, I just have like very varying like influences, but yeah, that's all for me.
Oh, I got our list of artists we also like on our Facebook. See
I'm
if I
almost
missed
afraid to say who I'm influenced
course,
by
Tool.
nowadays because in light of the whole sexual harassment thing. But Brand New lyrically is like one of my favorite bands. So there's that.
Yeah, no, Brand New saved my life. Like all through and through. Like, most of the times my whole argument with that is like, and my wife's argument with that, like when she was like 15 and dating Christopher Drew, like, he didn't have any idea, and she was just like, yeah, I mean, like, I looked up to him as a fan, and like, most of the time, just stuff happens, and
Yeah.
Well, it's like, you can't change who influences you. It's not like you knew the whole time, like, oh, hey,
Yeah, exactly.
he was
That's true.
kind of a scumbag, like you're just finding this out now, when it's like you've already been
Right.
shaped
Sometimes
by
it's
Brandon,
better
so
to
you can't go back and
not
be
meet
like,
people.
okay, well, I'm gonna undo, all of that.
Exactly. I think but there's like a little bit of me that just feels a little weird
Yeah.
about it, just because it's like, it's such a deep influence for me, especially like growing up. So it's just, I mean, but everybody does some bad things, like, and no one's a perfect angel, it's just hard to like accept it, I guess.
So, following up from that, Jason, do you feel like compared to Stolas, you're able to show some different influences or different sides of your creativity as opposed to in your previous band?
Yeah, I would have to agree and say, yeah. I know with Stolas, there was just kind of like this. It just feels like with this, there's no expectations for Atris, so I can do whatever the hell I want. Like I could scream it, or I could just all sing, and like there's no expectations to meet. So I feel free. I feel free to do, like, to try out several different ideas instead of just one or two, and so I'm just excited to see what comes out of it.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah, I think this is I don't know. It's definitely going to be a banger. I feel like, I don't know. There's so many good parts that I'm loving.
Yeah.
So especially
Yeah.
like bass wise, like I feel like I don't know. Like I've always been under this impression that bass players shouldn't use a pick, but like I've been like switching like back and forth, and I don't know, like I'm kind of like favoring the pick more than the fingers, just
It's almost like we got two guitars sometimes,
yeah.
but
Well, yeah, yeah,
the bassist is our second guitar.
yeah, I know. And then there's like parts where I'm like playing bass and like high register, like
There is some bass tapping on the album.
yeah, some bass tapping, some like
Is he in my room?
yeah, he's in your room. Yeah, sorry about the delay. Like my dog's just like crazy, he hates people, so.
So you guys are obviously a bit separated by distance and whatnot, but what are your plans for live shows going forward once you guys have like an album or music ready to perform?
Yeah.
I
I mean, I feel like we definitely want to like go on tour. I think we'll probably just end up, either meeting up with Jason, in Nevada, or him meeting up with us in California, and just going straight on tour from there.
maybe
Maybe, or
either that or just I kind of just want to judge the response of our
Yeah.
live shows locally. If we get really good response, we could go on tour sooner than later.
Yeah.
I don't want to go on tour and just play to nobody.
You're
That's
kind of
true.
gonna have to do
Yeah.
that no matter what. For like
Yeah,
several
probably.
years.
I mean, dude, like, hey, come on, let's be honest. Like, it's not nothing we're not used to.
Oh, I'll fucking do it.
Like, hey, like, I'm not,
See that pit open up.
I mean, you guys probably have a better chance of having at least some people at the shows just because Jason's in the band, and he's a recognizable name in the scene.
Yeah, there might be like one or two.
Hey, I won't deny that
Yeah,
fact.
yeah. Like the diehard Jason Weiche fans that are like, yeah.
I mean, I like to attribute that more to his hair. No, I'm just joking.
It's all the hair, man. Yeah. No, I think we all feel fortunate. We don't want to write off Jason's name, but
Yeah.
we realize there are people out there that miss his presence in the scene and
Yeah.
would like to see him back.
Yeah.
I think just for that, people would probably come out.
Yeah.
Regardless of whether or not our music sucks or not. But
Yeah. Hey.
hopefully it doesn't.
Man. Yeah. No. but it's definitely not gonna suck.
Definitely not. Don't quote us on that.
Oh man, no, but I think it would just be something it'd just have to work out in the future. But honestly, I don't see it being a problem, like with any of us, just because we're all so just down to earth. Like we don't have egos. Like we all hear each other when we speak. Like we take each other's opinions into consideration. So I don't see it being a problem. But yeah.
So when do you guys think we can expect to hear some of the music you guys have been working on?
Well, I think currently our plan is to get into the studio probably looking at like late winter.
Yeah.
So we're hoping to get at least a few songs knocked out. We were probably going to break up the recording load and try to knock it out, maybe 2-3 songs at a time.
Yeah.
We got 10 total. But we're not 100% sure when we're going to have a full song ready, just that we want to put out there with our name on it, you know. If we put something out, we want it to be good.
Yeah.
So we don't want to rush it either. I feel like people want to hear it at this point, like, oh, hey, Jason's doing something.
Yeah.
Like, where's the music at?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, yeah, like you said, like we don't really want to like rush into it and like give, people like
it's like Game of Thrones, man.
Yeah.
It's coming.
Yeah.
The dragons are coming.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like but then when it's here, it's like, oh fuck.
I don't watch Game of Thrones, so that's just like a sexual reference to me.
Yeah, I don't watch it either, so
we're taking the whole Game of Thrones approach.
Yeah.
Slow build up.
Yeah, but like we're not gonna put something out that's like like yeah, that was all right. But yeah, I mean,
I feel like if we do put something out, it'll probably change by the time we actually put the whole song out.
Yeah, because like all the playthroughs that we've done like on our Facebook page, I feel like it's changed too.
Yeah,
it's just like, I don't know, it maybe not necessarily the notes or like the rhythms or anything like that, but just like the feels, like if it's like drums or different stuff with guitars or bass. Because like we actually I think it was like one of our songs, like song 10. We like, I remember Pat showing it to me, and I was just like, dude, like we need to do something about this bass. Like I'm just not feeling it, because it was just kind of like
more static.
Yeah, just like
the bass line was just one direction.
Yeah, it was just linear. It's like wasn't anything really standoutish about it. He's like, all right, like this motherfucker comes back, like he shows me the PDF, and it's just like all this like tapping, and like I'm just like, fuck you, dude. Like, just like, fuck you. But I mean, like, I think that's one of the videos on our Facebook page. That's like I guess that's the process, to show the process, because like I don't know, like that could even change, so we're just constantly looking at ways to, kind of like perfect our music and, put out the best, or like what sounds good to us, or like what we think people would like to hear.
Sure.
Yeah. I feel like this is like, since it's like a fresh start for you guys with, a new lineup, new singer, this is like the perfect time to take your time, craft the best material you possibly can, and come back with something like really strong. So I think if you're ever going to take your time on something, this is like the time to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I feel too.
Yeah, I honestly feel the same way,
Yeah.
because I'm not saying like we're going to get signed and all this stuff, that doesn't happen until it happens, obviously. But, with that said, we don't have a label, with a deadline saying you have to get it done by this time, or there's no obligation. So, yeah, there's a little
Yeah.
pressure from, the people we tell
Yeah.
about our music, and then, we talk to them a week later, like, hey, how's the
Yeah.
band going? But that's nothing,
Yeah, I feel like though. I feel like we create the pressure though. Honestly, like,
Yeah.
like I know.
There's no contracts involved.
Yeah, there's nothing, but between like us, we're just like, fuck, man, like, hey, like we got to get this shit done. Like, we're just like, so, maybe it's just me because like I was in the Marine Corps, so I have like PTSD, and like maybe my PTSD is like kicking in, and I'm just like, oh yeah, I need to get this done, but yeah, dude, there's like been times where I'm like, fuck, man, like, about to have like a panic attack, and it's just like, dude, I just need to record like 2 bars, it's like to finish a song, it's like, I don't know, I think we're just more creating the pressure for ourselves, just which is good. I think it's good to like.
But at the same time,
Yeah,
you don't want the album to take
Yeah.
like 5 years.
Well, yeah,
5
yeah,
years and like different
yeah.
instruments
Kinda
and
gotta
people from
create
all
a
over
bit
the
of
world
pressure
join in.
Yeah,
It's like, let's add a horn section, guys.
because we're not Tool, like can't spend 10 years
Yeah.
on an album.
If we take 10 years to finish an album, we'll be dead.
Man, I hope I don't die in 10 years.
Well, I mean, our
Oh,
music careers.
oh, okay. It's like, goddamn, it was deep.
Yeah, guys, I'm killing myself if we don't finish this
Yeah,
album.
10 years. That's the that's a deadline.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I feel like I don't know. I feel like it's going good like so far, and I don't feel like other than the pressure I create for myself, I don't really feel like any other pressure. Like, and like we're all cool too. Like I know I know like Pat and I like we'll be like jamming on like a part, and like we're totally cool with just be like, yeah, that sucks dick, like to each other, and like we just kind of like laugh about it, and we're like, yeah, like that does, but yeah, it's like it's kind of a laid back sort of feel.
We're very OCD about
Yeah.
music as well. So, yeah, if it's wrong, it's wrong, I'll be like, Jamel, do it again, Nope, do it again.
Yeah.
Just practicing the parts, we'll stop and just slow it down
Yeah.
to a painfully slow pace just to get it down perfectly and just really get our parts down and
Yeah.
take your time with it because we're going to be performing this as well, and there's a lot of finger movements.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And yeah, it's funny too because like I was going to this like recording school in LA, and I don't know, just ended up like dropping out of that because I wanted to go to this music college in Pasadena. It's like the Los Angeles College of Music, and like the sole reason was because like he would be coming up with stuff, and I'd be like, dude, like I know what I'm playing note wise, but like I don't understand like what is going on, like, and I just want to figure out, like what am I doing? I've been playing bass for like 15 years and never like really sat down and like studied, actually like rhythms and just anything, honestly. Like it's like you guys seen that South Park with like Token and like they start Faith Plus One. It's like, yeah, they're like, hey bro, go to your basement. There's a bass in your basement. They're like, how do you know there's a bass in my basement? It's kind of like that same story with me. It's just like, I just, yeah, it's like I picked up a bass, and just because I have rhythm, I was good at it. Like, but I don't want to be like that stereotypical, like bass player that doesn't know how to read but yeah.
It's definitely been crazy. I mean, for me, like rhythmically on drums, it's been pretty cool. Like, just being able to like write stuff out, either on like my phone or just like jamming with my kid and then like transposing it. And if I just look at some of the PDFs that we share with each other and I just don't understand it all, I'll get Pat on the phone. I'll just be like, hey, what's going on here? And then I call it our little knowledge sessions. He's just like, all right, no, just like think about it in like just smaller like, you know, packages, like just 2 plus 3 plus 3 plus 5 like type of thing. And you know, I've just thinking about it in that kind of way, instead of just like, you know, sitting down next to your bassist and like jamming something out just till it feels right, is like, I don't know, it's just so much cleaner, I feel, and different, you know.
Saves a lot of time too. Like,
So much time.
All right. So, is there anything else guys want to let people listening know about the band, about what's coming up before we sign off?
You guys want to check out our Facebook page? You know, like we have that. We have songs on Spotify that are kind of like older songs. So just be weary, like if you hear like our older songs, like our new songs are definitely like.
If you want to get a feel for our new songs, but not really, go check out our old music.
Yeah. But if you want to actually get a feel for the new songs, like go check out the videos on Facebook. We've been trying to post like a video a month, just kind of stuff we're working on, and stuff like that. So yeah, just go check that out. Jason's back.
All right. Well, we wish you guys the best on like this creative process. I know it can be like a long process recording an album and like for a first time with a new lineup, but we wish you guys the best, and we hope we hear from you guys some music soon.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, nice talking to you, man.
Be sure to check out
Alright, thanks,
Atris
guys.
when that album drops. Probably 2027, as they say, 2027.
Well, damn.
Yeah, 2027. Yeah, just make sure you guys are following. Us on Facebook.
Follow them on whatever
Our goal-
new social
I think our
media
goal,
comes
honestly,
out
is
after
to,
Facebook. You know, that becomes the popular one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think our goal is near the end of 2018.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Well, thanks for coming on, guys.
Be watching.
Thanks for having us, guys.
Yes, thank you.
And with that, we have reached the end of season 1 of Plugged In.
Trystan and I would like to take this moment to say thank you to all of the guests we've had on the show in our inaugural year. Thank you to Andrew from Idola for 2 amazing episodes, Chanta from In the Background, Dante from Vague Advice, Aldrin and Sasha from Sea of Trees, Jack from A Buried Heart, Andres, the members of A Marionette, and the members of Atris.
I'd also like to thank Alex for accepting my request to start a podcast about a year ago and sitting here through all of our trials and tribulations that we went through throughout the last year and, you know, just working through it and being a part of this podcast.
This first year has been an amazing privilege and a learning experience for the both of us, and we're really excited as we move into year 2 of Plugged In.
Season 2 of Plugged In starts in January. We'll most likely be doing a lot of the same stuff, but hopefully better because we've had a year of experience now.
And as always, thank you to each and every one of you for listening. Take care.